Being born into wealth is an experience like no other. Imagine entering the world in a grand estate with every luxury at your fingertips. From extravagant birthday parties that make your friends' celebrations look modest to globe-trotting family vacations that last for months. The perks of being part of a wealthy lineage are endless. Think fine dining, caviar served on exquisite china, and live music filling the air during the holidays. While there are approximately 46.8 million millionaires across the globe, with a collective net worth of $158.3 trillion, the top 25 wealthiest families control a staggering $1.4 trillion of that fortune. So pour yourself a glass of champagne and wrap up in your coziest robe. Let's take a deep dive into how the richest families in the world live and what it's really like to have a family fortune worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Before we begin, a quick note. This list does not include world leaders, so you won't find any kings, sheiks, or, let's say, Putin. If you're curious about the wealthiest global leaders, stay tuned for a video on that at the end of this one. Richest 5, the Ortega family. When we think of immense wealth, industries like oil, diamonds, or tech often come to mind. But the fifth richest family in the world built their fortune in fashion, and not even luxury fashion. The Ortega family has an estimated net worth of $73.8 billion, created almost entirely by their patriarch, Amancio Ortega, and his mastery of the fast fashion industry. Amancio's story is one of true rags to riches. Born in 1936 in Spain, he grew up in relative poverty, experiencing the hardships of post-war Europe. At just 14 years old, he left school to work as a shirt maker to support his family. Over time, he mastered the trade, learning the intricacies of fabric production, tailoring, and retailing. With an entrepreneurial spirit, he eventually launched his own clothing brand, one that would evolve into Zara, the crown jewel of Inditex, now the world's largest fashion retailer. From a single store in La Coruña, Spain, Zara grew into a retail powerhouse with 6,500 locations across 88 countries. What set Zara apart was its innovative approach to fast fashion, rapidly responding to consumer demand by bringing new styles to stores in record time. This efficiency turned Inditex into a $100 billion company and made Ortega one of the wealthiest people on earth. Despite his vast fortune, Ortega remains intensely private. Until 1999, there were barely any public photos of him, and to this day, he has granted only 3 interviews. He avoids the spotlight, preferring to focus on business and investments. His financial moves, however, speak volumes. Through his real estate investment firm, Ponte Gadea, Ortega has acquired some of the world's most prestigious properties, including the Cepsa Tower in Madrid for $551 million, a Miami hotel for $536 million, and an entire block in Miami Beach. Though secretive, Ortega enjoys life in his own way. He has a passion for horseback riding, often spending time at his personal equestrian center in Spain. He also indulges in luxurious travel aboard his private yacht, Drizzle. With his daughter, Marta Ortega, now leading the Inditex empire, the Ortega family's fortune seems destined to continue growing. Number 4, the Slim family. The fourth wealthiest family in the world built their fortune the old-fashioned way, by investing in everything. Led by Carlos Slim, the Slim family has amassed an estimated net worth of $77.1 billion, making them the richest family in Latin America. Carlos Slim's financial genius became evident early on. Born in Mexico City in 1940 to Lebanese immigrant parents, he learned the value of money from his father, who ran a successful dry goods business. By age 11, Carlos was already investing, purchasing government bonds. By 15, he held shares in Mexico's largest bank, and by 17, he was working at his father's company, honing his business acumen. Slim quickly became a stock trading powerhouse, acquiring companies in real estate, retail, food, and tobacco. However, his biggest financial play came in the 1990s when he purchased the state-owned telecommunications company Telmex during Mexico's privatization wave. Under his leadership, Telmex evolved into América Móvil, now the largest telecom provider in Latin America, with over 280 million subscribers. Beyond telecommunications, Slim's investments span industries worldwide. He holds stakes in OfficeMax, Office Depot, and Barnes & Noble. His influence even extends into the media, as he owns 17% of the New York Times, making him its largest shareholder. Despite his enormous wealth, Carlos raised his 6 children with a strong focus on finance, encouraging them to buy and sell stocks from a young age. His real estate empire includes a 6-bedroom mansion in Mexico City, an 11-story office building in New York worth $140 million, a sprawling estate in Beverly Hills, and a 20,000 square foot mansion in New York featuring 12 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, and even a doctor's office in the basement. 3. The Koch family. The Koch family ranks as the 3rd richest family in the world, boasting an estimated fortune of $124.5 billion. Their wealth traces back to Fred Koch, a visionary engineer who revolutionized the oil refining industry in the early 20th century. His company, Koch Industries, is now America's 2nd largest privately owned business, operating across sectors including energy, chemicals, finance, and commodities trading. After Fred's passing, his 4 sons, Fred, Charles, David, and William, became embroiled in a bitter legal battle over the company. Eventually, Charles and David Koch bought out their brothers for $1.1 billion, solidifying their dominance over the empire. Under their leadership, Koch Industries has grown exponentially, refining 80 million barrels of oil per year and operating over 3,000 miles of pipeline. However, the Koch family's influence extends far beyond business. They have donated over $100 million to libertarian and conservative causes, particularly to oppose environmental regulations. Their political contributions have helped shape policy discussions on taxation, corporate deregulation, and climate change. Despite their power and wealth, the Kochs also enjoy the perks of an elite lifestyle. They own luxurious properties across the U.S., including estates in Aspen, New York City, the Hamptons, and Palm Beach. David Koch, who passed away in 2019, was also an avid art collector, donating hundreds of millions to museums and cultural institutions. Number 2, the Mars family. If you've ever enjoyed Snickers, M&Ms, Skittles, or Twix, you've contributed to the Mars family fortune. With a staggering net worth of $126.5 billion, they rank as the 2nd richest family in the world. The Mars story began in 1911 when Frank C. Mars started a small candy business in Tacoma, Washington. His son, Forrest Mars, took the company to new heights, introducing the Milky Way, Mars Bar, and M&Ms, which became global bestsellers. The company's ability to innovate and adapt has kept it at the forefront of the confectionery industry for over a century. Over time, Mars Inc. expanded beyond candy into pet food, pedigree whiskas, beverages, and snacks. The company remains family-owned, with multiple generations of the Mars family controlling its operations. Despite their immense fortune, the Mars family is intensely private, rarely giving interviews or allowing public photos. Number 1, the Walton family. The wealthiest family in the world controls a retail empire with 11,496 stores across 27 countries, generating $526 billion in revenue annually. Any guesses? It's the Walton family, the powerhouse behind Walmart, with a staggering $225 billion fortune. Founded by Sam Walton in 1962, Walmart became the world's largest retailer and private employer, with 2.2 million employees. Even after selling off some stock, the Walton family still owns nearly 50% of the company. Each family member is insanely wealthy. Rob Walton has $53 billion and spends millions on rare cars. He even wrecked a $15 million Daytona coupe. Jim Walton is worth $53.4 billion. Alice Walton, with $44.4 billion, is the richest woman in the world. Christy Walton, widow of Sam's son, owns a Wyoming ranch with its own elk herd. There you have it, the richest families on Earth. What do you think about how they built their fortunes and how they spent them? If you had a few $1 billion lying around, what would you buy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're curious about the richest world leaders, check out this video next. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next.